Hello everybody, we're still on this FC150 cab project, making some progress while we can, and I'm finishing up the passenger side rear, and this was the final piece I had to get in there. That kind of continues the radius there, finishes off that area. So I've got that in this morning, and there's a cloud of dust in here from all the rust that's coming off this thing. I just took this entire front section off, which was just rusted to pieces. I've got some weldable primer on there. This whole thing, piece comes from here and goes under, wraps under here. This is usually in pretty good shape because this is made out of 12 gauge. It's very heavy, but the sheet metal that's on it always rusts out. You always see the FCs rusting in the front. It's kind of a disaster along there, so I ground everything down. Got some weldable primer on it. This corner is out, but I roughed it in yesterday. There's another cab corner roughed in. I've got the other one over here. That one still needs smoothing. So both cab corners are roughed in. I'm going to try and work on this front section today, and I've been busy putting patches in where they're needed. We're not taking this whole wheelhouse out. It wasn't bad. We've got two patches right in there, tacked in, and another little one right there. So driver's side usually not as bad. The floor still needs to come out, but I want to get that front section in so nothing moves around on me, and then I will get the corners tacked in. But from the inside, like from in here where you see my finger coming through, there's a good place to seam seal right along there. Just moist air and things could get in there. The panel isn't welded to that. It's welded to the underside. It's flanged and then curved. So it's not a super tight fit, so anything could get in there. So it's a good place to seam seal from the inside. You won't really see it too much, so very good protection to do it that way. So I'm going to start getting a piece cut and let the seam sealer, the weldable primer, dry a little bit. And if you guys were asking again about it, and this is what I use. This is LPS, cold galvanized compound. It's not actually sold as weldable primer, but I've tried every single thing out there. I've tried every weldable primer. I've talked with all the companies, and this is what I have decided to use. It sprays better than the weldable primers. It welds a little bit better, and when you just toss some pieces of metal outside in the weather with this on it compared to weldable primer, this lasts 1,000 times better than actual weldable primer. My favorite for a long time was the 3M stuff, but if any of you guys have been using that, you know that you get a couple sprays out of it and then the nozzle clogs and then the can is useless. And I've talked to 3M about it a bunch of times, but never any help. So LPS, cold galvanized compound, it works great. Just be careful, don't breathe into fumes when you're welding. The same thing if you're using real weldable primer. Don't breathe into fumes. Have some ventilation. But this stuff works real good. And it's heavy. Got a mixing ball in there. Make sure you mix it real good. And it sprays out and it works real good. And any areas that are not going to get paint, between panels and stuff like that, don't put this stuff anywhere where you're putting finished paint. And if you have any overspray where you're actually going to put finished paint, sand it off. You only want this stuff between panels or in areas that you can't actually see. That'll never get paint on them. So, like this area right here, because we want it under there, this will all get sanded off. You don't want paint on top of that stuff. So, passenger side's really coming along nice. We're going to cruise around the front today, get that stuff tacked in across the front, and just keep making progress on here. Once the front's on, I could finish, really tune up and get them perfect, the corners, and then we'll just keep busy on patching in rusted areas. So, I'll be back with you in a little bit. Hang in there. We'll get that front piece made, and I'll start tacking it in. Okay, it's been a while. Our primer is nice and dry. We're not going to mess it up when we start fitting our piece. And to make this gentle curve, and it's a lot sharper in this area, really comes around here. You could use a little jaw type shrinker. That's a little shrinker stretcher set. And that's nice because you could take it right to where you are. And when I'm fine tuning the corners in, and I'm getting them to lay perfect along this edge here, I just make real fine adjustments with these little guys here. You could just give a little tweak, a little shrink, or a little stretch, and they're lightweight, and you can move them anywhere in the shop. But I've got a piece bent up. We're gonna weld it here, and it's gonna return under there 5/8 of an inch. So I'll take you over and show you the larger kick shrinker, and it works a little bit faster, and it's got a little bit more power, and it'll tighten these corners up real nice here and put a gentle curve across the whole front. So I'll take you over there next, show you that operation. Okay guys, there's the kick shrinker, and I'll try and zoom you in there. Right now I have shrink jaws set up in there. I don't like to stretch on this machine or do a lot of stretching like this. So I usually have all my setups with shrink jaws in them. There's other better ways to stretch things without tearing the metal, but on this particular piece, all we have to do is shrink it around into a nice gentle curve. So I'll grab a scrap piece and show you how this operates. I'll be right back with you. Okay, I hope I don't get in the way too much. I've just got a piece with a 90 on it, and I'll try and stay out of the way. And we just give this a couple kicks, and on the corner there we can really tighten that up. See, that'll come right around for us. Not really any marks in there. And then through the center where we just gotta tickle it, you know, we could just hit it light with our foot and get a nice gentle radius in there. I think you can see that okay. I hope you can. So basically making this piece is just going to be a whole lot of back and forth, getting our radiuses right, shrinking it. We're going to go nice and slow. We're going to creep up on it because it's better to have to just shrink it in little by little than over shrink it and have to stretch it out again. So we'll just go nice and easy, and we can make any shape we want like that. So I'll bring the piece over here. We're going to make that in two pieces because we got one area that's much bigger than the other area because it was rotted out in a different manner. So we're going to put the main piece in now, and I'm going to work on that, and I will show you the progress as it happens. Okay guys, we got the front piece tacked in there all the way around. I think you can see how nice it bends around there. Get that nice gentle curve along the bottom. And what I'm making now are these two. See the outline of the support that went here. It's welded to the floor, it's welded to the wheel arch, and it supports the front corner. And we're going to make those on the flanger now. A lot of times they're missing from FCs because they rot out so bad. But we're going to make a pair on the flanger and get those in. And I want to make sure they're right. We're going to test fit them in here before the floor comes out. And we know they fit, and we'll get them tacked in, then pull the floor out. So let's go make those now.
Go.
Okay guys, this is the panel we're making. You see this one's pretty banged up, rotten. We're putting this hole in now. I've got it laid out in the die, and we're over here at the Rotex. It's 1.5 inch diameter hole. And let's see if I can get lined up. Okay, you got that, Gary?
Yep.
Okay. And just as easy as that, we got our 1.5 inch holes nice and clean. And we'll go over and I'm going to sand this off, and then I'll meet you over at the flanger. Okay guys, we got a lot of curves in here. We got this edge is curved. We got this curve here. We got a lot of curves to do, so the flanger is the best tool for this. So I'm going to fire it up and we'll get started. Okay, there's one pass all around, and we'll just keep bringing it up little by little, and I won't bore you with it, but I'll bring you back when we get a little further along.
Go ahead.
Okay, here are our two finished panels. You get those all right, Gary?
Yep.
There's our new one. There's our old one. Got another one made for the right side. Left and right. So we're gonna go fit these now. Make sure everything fits the floor real nice. Make sure the radius is what we want, and then after we know they fit right, we can take the floor out, and we'll have something to match our floor to if we know it's right now. So we'll head over to the truck now and check these out.
Go.
Okay, this is the left side, but we're just trying it on both sides to show how it fits. And this is where it goes in the vehicle, and you can see we're nice and tight along the floor, nice and tight along the back. When the wheel arch comes forward, we're going to be super tight there. Like I say, this is the left side. The flange faces in on both of them, but I just happen to have this one, and we're testing on the left side. checking it on the right. They're both exactly the same. And then over here, this will support the front of the cab corner. This will get welded to the front of that, and everything will be tied together. It fits good. We could take the floor out now, and we know when we put this in, when it's flush with the wheel arch, this is what we match our floor to in case we get screwed up on that. And we're ready to go with these. So this is a good piece to get out of the way. We'll start taking the floors out, and I'll show you that as it happens. Okay guys, another good day of progress on the FC cab. We've got that complete front section welded in. And you can see I'm patching in the driver's side wheelhouse. And we are ready now to start fitting the corner. And at the same time, we'll be fitting the corner and then taking this floor out. You can see how bad that is. So that's happening next. We got a patch in here. The corner will go right up to that. That extra little bit of reinforcement that we made before will go in. And we're closing in on it. A lot of welding today. And this floor, we're going to take half of it out at the red line. And things are coming along. I still have a lot of finish welding to do, as you can see in areas like that. But we're gaining on it. I've kind of got a mess right here. These doors were in not real good shape. I don't know if it would be better to find a new set or spend a lot of hours getting these right. I guess I'll have to talk that over with her. But as far as the main body, things are looking good. Both corners are roughed in. Patches are being made. Haven't floated out any dents yet. I don't know if I'm going to do that or if the painter is going to do that, but I don't know who's doing the grinding and the finish work. But I'm just going to keep jamming on it and make parts. And I'll show you the floors next. Maybe tomorrow. I've got some other stuff to do, but maybe tomorrow we'll pop these floors out and start laying them out, making patterns, and building the floors. So, gonna end this one here. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next video.